Hi, my name is Samaria Watson, and I am interviewing
Rena Beltran.
on the topic of Obama. What year did Obama first take office?
He was elected in 2008, but he took office January 2009.
How did it make you feel to have a African American president?
Um, I had a great sense of pride with the election of the first African American president in seeing that a tide was turning with a great sense of hope and change sweeping over the nation.
Where were you? And what did you feel when Obama announced he was running for president?
I was in high school and I no, I had actually just graduated from high school because I remember as a senior in high school, I remember him being an Illinois senator. He was a senator from the state of Illinois, and right after I went to college, he announced that he would be running for president, and I was in disbelief. But being civically involved as a young student in high school, a lot of people was discussing his political future and his political career. So a lot of people were saying that that was the next step for him to run for president. So they were right.
Okay. When Obama got elected, did you feel anything would change?
I was optimistic. I had high hopes that things were going to be different. I wouldn't necessarily, I can't put into words exactly in a 5-point plan exactly what I thought, what sweeping change would occur. But I did have great hopes and high hopes, and I was very optimistic about what was possible. Anytime a black man could become president, anything was possible.
In his 8 year, did it change?
I believe we saw some great legislation get pushed through. Some new laws, new acts were put on the books, but I didn't see necessarily the impact that I would have wanted to see for race relations in America. That didn't happen, and I did maybe think we could make strides in that area that I just didn't come to pass. It just didn't happen while he was president.
When Obama was in office, did it affect your life?
Um, no, not really. Like I said, I did feel a great sense of pride just with the black man being in office and the level of excellence that him and First Lady Michelle Obama presented to the country. It changed my life in that sense because it made me want to strive to be my best self.
Ooh, it just went low, battery.
Mine.
Yeah.
Keep going. Is she still on it?
But the thing over her face.
Oh, shoot. Hold on. Uh-uh. Okay.
What could have What could have changed so it would affect your life?
Um, I would have liked to see more legislation passed concerning student loans. That would have been that it had the passage of any legislation that would have wiped out student debt or helped lower the cost of higher education, and sending people to college with a lot less debt after they graduated. I would have think that would have been like a major achievement for him as a president, along with any major legislation that would have helped race relations in America. I think those two things would have been dynamic for my life.
What was your memory of having Obama as president?
Um, I remember um them announcing that he had won. I didn't go to Grant Park. I was living in Chicago at the time. I didn't go to Grant Park because I had to work. But I remember watching his, when he accepted, that, he had won the election. Him and his family went on stage, and it was just such a powerful moment. I remember cameras panning Grant Park, and it was hundreds of thousands of people out there, and it was so many people just overcome with emotion, crying, young, old, black, white. It was such a sense of victory in the air, and that was a very powerful moment for me, because I think it was one of those things where it's like anything is possible. Like, this really just happened. It was surreal.
What did a African American president mean to you as a African American?
A great sense of pride, like a deep sense of achievement for the entire black community. That a lot of people try to discredit, Barack Obama as not being, a black American, because his father is from Kenya, so he has, he has African, he's a descendant from, the continent of Africa. But I really do believe that in America, a brown or black person is a brown or black person. Nobody's going to go research your ancestry. So it meant a lot to see an example of the first lady and President Obama as a couple. Michelle Obama is from the south side of Chicago. And she presented herself with such grace and elegance. And for them two to be, husband and wife, President and First Lady of the United States of America, I believe it gave everyone a sense of pride and hope. And I think that was the big takeaway from his presidency.
If Obama was given more time in office, do you think more change would happen?
No, and unfortunately, the cut and dry answer to that is that he faced a lot of resistance in the Senate and the House of Representatives. Every impactful piece of legislation that he tried to push through the House and the Senate was shut down by the the Republican Party. So there was no working together in government to get things that the American people really needed done. He faced a lot of opposition, and I do think he would, no matter how long he was in office, he could be in office for 20 years. That was not going to change.
Thank you.